Hi everybody, John Cena here and welcome to Season 2, Episode 1 of FunkQuest, and we begin our long and arduous quest to find the champion Funkster of Season 2. And I have two astoundingly good-looking Funksters with me today. And first up is Michael Barnes. So Michael, tell me who you are, where you're from.
Hey, I am Michael Barnes. I am the founder of Awakened Innovations, and I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Excellent. And Kevin Douglas Wright, tell us who you are, where you're from.
Yes, my name is Kevin Douglas Wright. I'm originally from New Jersey, but currently been living in South Florida for about 18 plus years. And I'm an independent film producer, director, and writer.
Fantastic. Right. So a bit of housekeeping before we get going. These guys are going to make it look reasonably easy. It's difficult. This is harder than it looks. If you think you are funky enough, send me a tweet at JohnSenior1. Get ready to vote. If you've not listened to FunkQuest before, you'll kind of figure it out. But in about 10 or 12 minutes time, you'll need to get a piece of paper and a pencil so you can vote for one of these guys to go through to the next round. And if you think, well, I don't know, I've got a better answer than that, then join in with hashtag FunkQuest. So with that said, you'll kind of figure it out from now on. And it's an all shiny new board for Season 2. And generally speaking, it's an advantage to go second. So because Michael's going on before, I'm going to give Kevin the kind of the slight advantage of going second. So Michael, you get to go first.
I can't quite tell. Let's do, are those leaves or fruit on the top right basket?
I think it's a bowl of fruit. How many times a year do you have a declutter?
What's a declutter?
I was going to ask the same thing, Michael.
Yes. Is that where you clean up your house or what is it?
I don't know. Do you find your head gets full if you don't?
Okay. Obviously, I need to declutter more often. And honestly, I try to do it multiple times a day. So I stop occasionally when things start going fast and put everything out on paper into a list. That's the way that I do it. And so in a year, I'm going to do it 1,000 times. But it is definitely important because, a lot of us, our minds start whizzing, whirling. My mind I called it the death spiral. It would grab onto negatives and go down. Now I try to have it go positive and come up with new ideas.
My trouble with the bit of paper thing is end up knee deep in lists and bits of paper and stuff like that.
Electronic. I actually do it as emails to myself.
That's good. Right, Kevin, you got the same question, which was the fruit. And how many times a year do you have a declutter?
Declutter. When I hear the word declutter, it just makes me think of like my office space or something like that. So for this year, I wanted to do it at least maybe twice a year. Mm-hmm. So I haven't done it yet for 2020. But what I would do is, just kind of set my timer on my cell phone for 30 minutes or 35 minutes and really just go at it, just getting rid of papers, stuff that I might have to shred. If I don't have to shred it, just trash it, and really just try to just get rid of stuff that's probably been last year, 2019, staring at me, waiting for me to do something to it.
If it's in your eye shot,
yeah,
then it takes up headspace.
Yeah, because you still see it every day. And you might try to ignore it, but it's still sitting there looking at you.
Hello, I'm here. Hello. Good stuff. Remember, by the way, listeners, we are looking for insights, things that we didn't know that we know now by listening to these guys who don't know each other and don't know me. So that's what we're after, insights. So that will be something you should base your vote on. Who went first that time? It was Michael, so this time it's Kevin to go first.
All right, so question 2, I'll go with that old, looks like a Polaroid camera. Yeah.
What do you bring with you or take with you everywhere you go?
I would say most of the time it's a little notebook, like a spiral notebook, like those college notebooks or high school notebooks on you. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Yeah. I know you can do it on your phone, or if you carry like a little tablet or something like that. But for some reason, sometimes I like to just still write regular notes on a piece of paper, where I can come back and look at it. So I would say a
notebook.
Yeah, notebook.
Somebody once said to me that a notebook should be like a man's handbag.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that.
Sharp.
Yeah.
Which one do you write with? Pencil?
I usually go with pen. Pen.
What was it? Was that Michael? You got the same question. What do you bring with you or take with you where you go?
Yeah, well, sort of the simple answer would be my phone, of course. But in reality, what I like to bring with me is positivity and solutions. So as you know, I'm working on hacking homelessness. And
I like that.
It's all about finding solutions. And so I like to have a can-do attitude, talk about what's going on, and not talk about the problems, but the solutions. So what can we do to fix whatever it is? So whether it's my thing or your thing, how do we move forward? That's the real question. That's really what I like to bring with me everywhere I go, is innovative thinking, solutions, positive.
That's interesting. It picks a non-tangible item.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the innovation, right?
Yeah. Because if you go, I'm going to bring a phone. Well, okay, we're just going down the rabbit hole of phones and apps and all that stuff.
Right.
And next question. Question 3. Who is it? It's Michael to go first.
Yep.
Yeah, let's do. I think that's the Great Wall of China.
It is correct. What's the worst thing you've ever eaten out of politeness?
That's a good one. Very good.
Wow. That's a great question, and I'm not sure. The reality is I like almost everything that I eat, and if I don't, I tend to find a way not to eat.
Is eating out of politeness, is that gone, you think?
Well, maybe. Yeah, I mean, I think to a great extent, unless you're sitting there and the person who cooked it for you is right in front of you, then so I learned when you're out at a restaurant, you take a bite of something, you don't like it, then wipe your mouth, and oddly enough, your mouth is empty and you're done. So
yeah, that's interesting. Yeah,
so I try not to.
One thing that I noticed is that a lot of these healthy eating things didn't exist 20 years ago. Now they do, which is odd. Yeah. All these special diet things. Kevin, you got the same question. What's the worst thing that you've eaten out of politeness?
Out of politeness, I can't actually remember the name of the dish, but it was a bunch of friends and everyone was from different countries. This particular dish, there was rice in there, so I knew it was rice, but it was some kind of meat. And I noticed that everyone kept saying, hey, give this a try. And I think they knew that I didn't really eat a lot of different things, so they were kind of like trying to trick me into eating it, which I thought was kind of funny. So as I was eating it, the meat was like really, really chewy. And I kept saying, wow, what is this? Like, because I had never had it before. And I don't remember the name of the dish. So after everyone stopped laughing, they said, well, it's a traditional dish. And I forget which South American country it was, but it was the intestines.
Nice.
The small intestines, but it was cut up in little pieces. So it just looked like, maybe bits of bacon or something like that. And for me, I ate the first few bites, but for some reason, I just knew it wasn't, something I would normally eat.
The thing that always makes me you go across the border to France, right? It's 20 miles across the channel. You go to the supermarket, they have horse. We don't eat it.
Wow.
We don't, but that's Anglo-Saxon culture, same as ours, very similar lifestyle. They eat horse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we don't eat horse here in the United States, at least. I don't think they do in Ohio, Mike.
I have not heard anywhere that they eat horse, so apparently
just probably across the channel to France to do it.
Big deal for us, but yeah.
Yeah. Question 4, I believe it might be Kevin. So
yes, I'll go with that spiked hairdo there.
The punk rock lady, yes. What will always be in fashion no matter how much time passes?
I would say some types of haircuts, like if you just go with a basic medium kind of haircut, not all the way bald, but not too long, not going past your ear, kind of like the safe zone. And of course, someone can recognize you're not too stylish, but as the times change, as they go from bald to spiky type haircuts, curly haircuts, or long, flowing hair, I think if you kind of stay right in the middle where it's
I don't think
you, John.
I always find hair a bit of an inconvenience, but I don't think haircuts have ever come up before.
No.
No, maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Michael, you get the same question, which is a punk rock lady. What would always be in fashion no matter how much time passes?
Again, I'm not going to go with physical, but I would say politeness, manner. And so, those do fluctuate, absolutely. But I think that it's something in us that we adults have this concept of what's polite, and we try to teach our children to be polite. I think that's true across all cultures and all times. And so I really think that, again, no matter how much time passes, being polite, using your manners, these days, saying please and thank you, it's always going to be
very, very funky. Saying please and thank you, I tell you.
Well, exactly. And it's interesting. I've had that conversation recently, is some people get upset that the younger generation is not saying please and thank you. And my answer is, well, let's re-examine what's polite. And so, it does change with time, absolutely. But some form of politeness.
Yeah, that is true. The cultural norms become different, what's accepted is different. Very true. And the final question, and this is I don't know if you can see that, it's an old-fashioned computer game, a scooter, car and a caravan, or the flag of Spain.
Let's do the old-fashioned computer game.
What always cheers you up when you think about it?
It's too easy for me. So my family and my dog is super cute, and she sticks around with me. And then my two kids, my daughter is 17, plays soccer. So love watching her do that. She's about to graduate from high school and wants to take a gap year. She wants to travel to Australia, South Africa, and Brazil.
Nice.
And son, who is off at college now at Ohio State, started out thinking he was going to do physics and is now doing psychology. And I think that he should do the physics of psychology. There's some really cool and interesting stuff on that, to be honest. I never had heard of it, but yeah, there's some super cool things in that arena.
If there's a professor of physics of psychology who wants to get on the show, then get in touch. Right, we'd
Absolutely.
we'd definitely have you on, and we'd probably do like a one-off episode with you. What always cheers you up?
I'd have to go with the same thing with family. I have an older nephew and a little nephew and a little niece, and just when I'm babysitting them or hanging out with them, and you can just see that they're learning things for the first time or just ask you funny questions. So, anytime I think of my interaction with family, especially when they're younger, because they see things a lot differently, that always cheers me up or brings a smile to my face.
It's also where they learned things of what is polite and what is not polite comes from.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Not
Definitely.
Your parents, but your kind of wider family, aunties and uncles and grandmas and granddads and next door neighbour, local community. That's where that. Yep. And I was saying kids are victims of their parents.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my sayings. Right, okay, we're out of time a bit early. Little nephews are great, aren't they? We've got a little nephew and he's good fun.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Right, that's it. So,
Kevin, you tied that into my previous answer. That is key. That was awesome.
So, what you got to do is work out, listener, if you've got your piece of paper and your pencil handy, which you should have, having listened to this show, if you think that Michael was the winner and should go through to the next round, you've got to send an email to michael@funkythinkers.com. And ditto Kevin, if you think Kevin won, send an email to kevin@funkythinkers.com. And you're not added to any list or anything stupid like that. You will just get an acknowledgement, and that's it. Michael, thank you so much for being on. How can we find out more about you and contact you and buy all your stuff?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Jonathan, and great to meet you, Kevin. So as I said, I'm working on Cincinnati Hacking Homelessness, so that's cincinnatihacking-homelessness.com, or email me at info@cincinnatihacking-homelessness.com, or look for me through Jonathan's connections on Facebook and LinkedIn.
That's it. Kevin, how can we find out more about you and buy all your films?
Oh, yes. Michael, as a Great working with you on this nice little project here. The way to find my films is if you go to Amazon.com and then it's /V like video and then /Wright, my last name, WRIGHT. My website is my full name, KevinDouglasWright.com. So that's KevinDouglasWright.com.
Fantastic. We'll link to all those in the show notes. Gents, thank you so much for being on. And we'll see you, listener, back for Series 2, Episode 2. Thanks so much, and speak soon. Hi, thanks so much for making it to the end of this episode. If you've enjoyed it, please share it with your friends. I have a few people you might want to share it with. Your partner, your parents, your grandma and granddad, your neighbours, your hairdresser, your tea lady, your gym instructor, your swimming coach, postman, the bin man, your cat, your dog, Father Christmas, Mr. Trump, Mr. Putin, Cristiano Ronaldo.